there's no way that you can tell that much truth without offending certain portions of the population. And so now you have to figure out how you're going to handle that. And at 5'5", I've always handled it just first.
If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview.
Oh, man,
listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and that she's never been interviewed anywhere.
With Beyonce, you know, it's just a weird thing because I do love her so much, and I would never, ever want to do anything to hurt her or her image because she's, you know, she's important to us. But it's just a weird thing right now. Like, I love Beyonce still. And then you have celebrities like a Jay-Z. And this is where I think the whole fallout with the Beyonce, she's just kind of in the crosshairs because of all of what's going on in the media with respect to.
There's no vindication for me because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters and the victim-making machine.
What if the names you thought were untouchable were suddenly trending for all the wrong reasons? What if the whispers everyone laughed at are now echoing a little louder? Because over the past few days, one voice has stepped back into the spotlight, and she is not holding back. Jaguar Wright. Yes, that Jaguar Wright. And according to her latest explosive claims, some of the biggest celebrities in the world may have more questions to answer than they'd like. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Here we go again," let's pause. Why are certain old headlines resurfacing? Why are archived documents suddenly being reshared? And why does it feel like every time Hollywood starts to relax, another name gets dragged back into the fire? No official charges, no courtroom verdicts, just claims, allegations, and a timeline that has the internet in full detective mode. Is this another viral storm that fades in 48 hours? Or are we watching the beginning of something much bigger? Because if even half of what's being suggested is true, Hollywood might not sleep tonight. And trust me, this rabbit hole only gets deeper. The moment Jaguar Wright's latest interview clips hit social media, timelines didn't just react, they detonated. It wasn't a slow burn. It was instant. Clips, edits, dramatic music overlays, captions in all caps screaming, "Told you so." Within hours, her name was trending alongside some of the biggest figures in entertainment. And suddenly, people who hadn't spoken her name in years were leaning forward like they'd just heard a secret they weren't supposed to. But here's where it gets interesting. Jaguar didn't present court documents. She didn't wave around official indictments. What she did was something arguably more powerful in today's climate. She told a story. A messy, layered, uncomfortable story. One that connected old industry whispers with resurfaced Epstein-related documents that the internet had already been dissecting for months. And once those threads touched, the algorithm did the rest. Now, let's be clear. Appearing in documents does not equal guilt. Being mentioned in proximity does not equal involvement. But nuance? Nuance doesn't trend. What trends are screenshots. What trends are side-by-side photos. What trends are 10-second clips with ominous background music, and that's exactly what started happening. Old red carpet appearances were reposted. Archived interviews were re-examined. Industry friendships that once looked like networking suddenly looked suspicious. Or at least that's how the comment sections framed it. People started asking, why were these names in the same rooms? How did these connections form? Was this just business or something else? Again, questions, not proof. But in 2026, questions travel faster than answers. And Jaguar knows that. She leaned into the narrative that Hollywood isn't what it pretends to be. That power protects power. That silence is bought, traded, negotiated. She didn't accuse with legal precision. She implied with dramatic pause. She spoke in that tone that makes you feel like you're being told something confidential, like you're in on it. And the audience? They ate it up, because culturally, we are in a moment where people expect the fall of giants. Diddy's legal chaos shook that illusion of invincibility. Other high-profile scandals cracked the surface. So now, whenever a powerful name trends in connection with something dark, people don't dismiss it anymore. They lean in. Supporters quickly fired back. They argued timelines didn't make sense. They pointed out career stages. They highlighted lack of official charges. Internet court isn't real court, one viral tweet read. But critics weren't satisfied. They said, patterns matter. They said, where there's smoke. They said, why do these stories keep resurfacing? And that's the tension. Not facts versus lies. Perception versus power. Jaguar positioned herself as someone who's been warning people for years. Someone who claims the industry runs on secrecy. Whether you believe her or not, she understands spectacle. She understands that timing is everything. And right now,
people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the f*** stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Liars are now the face of our culture.
Approximately 2006, blank last recalled being used by Epstein. Okay, so this is the first half and the section in which Jay-Z's name comes up. And while an allegation is an allegation is an allegation, what has me kind of skeptical here is the time frame in which Jay-Z is cropping up here. 1996, which is not the earliest point of his career, but early enough in terms of his studio album discography. He was barely having moved out of Marcy at that point, and his first record only sold like 43,000 copies. There's been a litany of debates going back and forth about like whether or not it would have been believable for Jay-Z to sort of have been in these kinds of circles way back in 1996, which I know the waters do get muddy a little bit because of how popular and massive Jay-Z is as a figure now. So as a result of that, it's kind of easy to almost like, always imagine him in that.
The timing couldn't be louder because the Epstein files carry emotional weight. The moment a celebrity name appears anywhere near that orbit, even peripherally, the internet's imagination does backflips. Suddenly, follower counts are analyzed. Unfollows are treated like statements. Silence is interpreted as strategy. Even brands staying neutral become suspicious. Is someone distancing themselves? Is someone protecting contracts? Or is everyone just trying to avoid getting dragged into a digital wildfire? No official investigations tied to these particular claims have been announced. No verified legal actions linked to Jaguar's statements have materialized. Yet that hasn't slowed the speculation machine for even a second. Because this isn't just about documents. It's about distrust. It's about a generation that believes elite circles hide uncomfortable truths. And Jaguar's words didn't create that feeling. They tapped into it. So now the real question isn't just, are these claims true? It's, why are so many people ready to believe they could be? And that shift in public psychology, that might be the biggest story of all. But we're just getting started, and just when people thought the frenzy might cool down, it escalated. Because this wasn't just about resurfaced documents anymore. It became about patterns. Internet detectives started building timelines like they were assembling a crime board in a Netflix documentary. Red string everywhere. Old interviews clipped. Event guest lists screenshotted. Archive party photos zoomed in 400% like someone was going to discover a hidden confession in the background of a blurry 2003 gala. Was it paranoia? Was it coincidence? Or was it something people had ignored for years? Jaguar's words added fuel to something that was already smoldering, the idea that Hollywood operates in layers. Public layer, private layer, and then the layer nobody talks about. Again, no confirmed charges. No official indictments, but perception? Exploding. Anonymous industry insiders started appearing in blog comment sections claiming they'd seen things. No names and no proof. Just vague warnings and dramatic language. Screenshots of these comments went viral before anyone could verify a single sentence. And then came the spending rumors. Lavish private islands. Closed-door charity galas. Exclusive buy-and-bite-only retreats. None of this is illegal on its own. Billionaires throw billion-dollar parties. That's not new. But when the internet is already suspicious, every it looks like a secret meeting. Every private jet looks like an escape plan. Suddenly, luxury became suspicious. And the public reaction split in half. One side said, "This is how misinformation spreads. You're connecting dots that don't belong together." The other side said, "Why do these same powerful circles keep overlapping?" And then the social media metrics added another layer. Follower counts fluctuating. Quiet unfollows. Brands going silent. In the corporate world, silence is strategy. But online, silence looks like guilt. When one major brand removed a tagged collaboration post within hours of the controversy trending, people lost it. Was it routine PR cleanup or subtle distancing? No statement was released, which, of course, made it louder. Because in 2026, not responding is often seen as a response. Then Jaguar doubled down in another live stream appearance. She didn't present evidence. She presented conviction. She spoke about ritualized power structures, about gatekeepers, about careers built on secrets. The kind of language that feels cinematic, the kind that makes people screenshot quotes immediately. Critics called it sensationalism. Supporters called it bravery. Meanwhile, mainstream media tiptoed carefully. Articles used phrases like online speculation, viral claims, and no verified proof. Legal experts reminded audiences that being mentioned in documents does not imply wrongdoing. But let's be honest. When has the internet ever waited for legal experts to finish talking? By now, this wasn't just a controversy. It was content. Reaction videos with dramatic thumbnails. Podcasts dissecting every sentence. TikTok edits with ominous music and flashing headlines. And the biggest shift? People stopped asking, "Is this confirmed?" They started asking, "Why does this feel possible?" That psychological shift, that erosion of blind trust, is what made this moment volatile. Because whether the claims hold weight or collapse entirely, something has already changed. The aura of invincibility. And once that cracks, the narrative never goes back to normal, and then came the part nobody predicted. It wasn't a press conference. It wasn't a lawsuit. It wasn't even a new interview. It was silence. The kind of silence that makes the internet louder. No fiery denial. No dramatic Instagram live. No carefully crafted public statement shutting everything down. Just quiet. And in today's digital culture, silence is never neutral. Within hours, people began analyzing body language from months-old appearances. Red carpet clips resurfaced. Award show speeches were replayed. Interviews were dissected frame by frame, as if hidden confessions were buried between casual smiles. Look at that pause. Why did they say it like that? That aged differently. When the public starts reinterpreting the past through the lens of present suspicion, every memory changes shape. And that's when the bigger narrative began forming. Not just about individuals, but about power. About elite circles that move in private while the public watches curated perfection. The conversation shifted from, "Did this happen?" to "How much don't we know about any of them?" Because here's the truth nobody likes to admit. People don't just crave scandal. They crave accountability. And when trust in institutions is already fragile, even the hint of secrecy feels explosive. Online creators started mapping connections like conspiracy theorists with Wi-Fi, shared events, shared business partners, shared philanthropic boards. Normal industry overlap suddenly looked like coded alliances. Was it? Or was it just how high-level networking works?
You should believe that in 1996, Jay-Z, still without a record label living in New York, was already hanging around with Harvey Weinstein. Sounds like BS, just like the last time. But some people are saying this is the time period that Jay-Z was chasing LL Cool J around in clubs in New York to battle him for clout, and we're supposed to believe he was connected to Weinstein and Epstein. They're saying Jay-Z was a rapper who was getting dissed by Tupac, all right? So look, they're saying that, look, Jay-Z can't have been that popular. He didn't have this sort of Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein connections in 1996. It was too early. But then some people are arguing, wasn't he like 26 and already connected to the game? It's possible, in my opinion. Jay had connections by then. Reasonable doubt wasn't the start of his career. But then people are arguing and said that if he was that connected, so much connected, he was close friends with Weinstein, who was already winning Oscars, why couldn't he even get signed by some label? If Jay-Z was so close with him, why didn't they use his firm to produce Streets is Watching? Why didn't they do anything together for 20 years, never appeared together when they were such close friends friends, according to his lady. But then we get to this. So there's been a lot of allegations that Jay-Z has dated girls young and all.
That debate never really settled. Instead, the conversation evolved into something more unsettling. If nothing is wrong, why does everything feel so guarded? Again, no official investigations tied to these specific claims have been announced. No confirmed legal action connected directly to these viral accusations. But public opinion doesn't operate on court schedules. It operates on momentum. And momentum right now? Relentless. Sponsors are cautious. PR teams are alert. Executives are watching. Because even unproven controversy can damage brand perception. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Even if every claim collapses tomorrow, even if every rumor is disproven, even if this entire storm fades from headlines next week, the seed of doubt doesn't disappear. Once the public starts questioning power structures, they don't stop at one name. They zoom out. They start asking about the system, about who protects who, about who benefits from silence, about how much of celebrity culture is performance versus reality. Jaguar may have sparked the moment, but the reaction? That belongs to the internet. And the internet rarely forgets. So now we're at a crossroads. Is this another viral wave that crashes and disappears? Or is this one of those cultural shifts where the shine of untouchable fame dulls just enough for people to see behind it? Because whether you believe the claims or dismiss them entirely, one thing is undeniable. The era of blind idol worship is fading. And when the audience stops clapping automatically, even the biggest stages feel a little less secure. And that might be the most controversial twist of all. Before you click away, ask yourself one thing. If even half of what Jaguar Wright is saying about the alleged celebrity names tied to Jeffrey Epstein is true, why is everyone suddenly so quiet? Why are interviews disappearing? Why are comments getting disabled? Why are certain A-list philanthropists now avoiding red carpets like they're allergic to flash photography? Coincidence? Or damage control? Tonight wasn't just gossip. It wasn't just celebrity tea. This was a full-blown collision between Hollywood glam and shadowy secrets. And whether you believe every word or not, one thing is undeniable. The conversation is getting louder. So, I need you to tell me, do you think Jaguar is exposing the truth? Or is she being used as the perfect distraction while bigger players hide in plain sight? Are these so-called elites untouchable? Or is the empire finally cracking? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but be careful. Read the room. The internet never forgets. And if you made it this far, you already know this story is far from over. Because the next wave? It's rumored to include leaked flight logs, resurfaced photos, and a name nobody expected. You don't want to miss that. Hit like if you believe the industry has secrets. Subscribe if you're tired of polished lies. Turn on notifications if you want the unfiltered version before it mysteriously disappears. This isn't just celebrity drama anymore. This feels bigger. And when the smoke clears, some of your favorites might not look so golden. Stay awake. Stay questioning. And I'll see you in the next exposure.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay-Z's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not as far as the proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take it. No, I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, or seeing a lot. I can take me being embarrassed. Like, just can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, you know, that's not fair. I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now, and she was saying Sean Carter, that's what she was calling me first before she was calling Jay-Z. And I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother, and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really just was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. And she continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even until I was grown. He never tried to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking. It's like, I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with. I work every day. I also have my own kids to take care of. So it's like, it's been a journey for me. And it's just like, I just got so much on my name right now. I never ask for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. But next is, I'm just trying to basically make sure no other kids or nobody else in the world has to go through this. Basically, don't feel afraid to go to court and see if a person is your biological parents. So many people are scared, and this is a big thing in the world. A lot of people don't have their fathers because they're scared to go out and search for them. And sometimes it only take a little search, go searching it. And if it's wrong, we're adults. Well, most of us adults, even for the teenagers, this shows this being a role model for them, showing you can go in the courtroom, and if you're doing everything correctly, you should be able to just get treated as equal as other person. I've always been a person that I never hate anyone. I never, I don't walk around with hate for a person. So I try to teach my kids that just be the best that you can be. So that's just a motto I go off. I would never hate Jay-Z. It was never that type thing. I respect him for everything he did. And as I said, I've been going through a whole lot through these years because this case, like me, my mom, my godmom, we didn't seen the worst. We didn't have people, slander my name like you want Jay-Z money, and I hear it all. I'm going to fight until I'm not here no more, and it's never going to be against no one. Like, I'm going to continue to fight. It'll take another 10 years, maybe another 50. Maybe I'll take this to the...
Watch till the next part.